Everybody, John L here. Just wanted to put together a video of the new Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six boss fight that just finished up a couple days ago. It's a new boss fight. It features a lot of the new characters that they just released, such as Doc Ock, Sandman, and the Vulture, which hasn't been released quite yet. It's a wave boss fight, which is new, and each round you have to fight all 6 of the bosses. So what I wanted to do is just get a video together, just going through each round, kind of illustrating what the new bosses' attacks are, and how difficult they are from the beginning to the end, and just get an idea of what they do, what kind of strategies might be involved, what players might be good, what characters might be good to combat them and have success. So anyways, without further ado, here it is. What's up, everybody? John L here. Today is the first day of the new Spider-Man vs. the Sinister Six boss event. So let's take a look at this. Oh wow. Okay, so Spider-Man's greatest foes have teamed up to destroy him. Join forces with your alliance to help Spider-Man protect the city and defeat the 6 deadly villains that make up Marvel Puzzle Quest Sinister Six. So Cloak and Dagger, Beast, Hawkeye are powered up, and then a whole bunch of reinforcements, like everybody. Alright, so looks like there's 2 bosses this time? Do you choose, or do we fight both? Alright, let's go with the Vulture first. So, since this is the first wave, all these guys are super weak, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Let's see, who else? Iron Man? Why not? Yeah, right, Spider-Man. Nope. Here, let's do Wolverine, maybe. No, he's not going to be too good. Wow. Old Man Logan's pumped up. Let's do that. Why not? It's going to be an easy fight anyways. Face the Sinister Six. The Sinister Six are tearing up the city. Each member of Marvel Puzzle Quest Sinister Six has a different way of causing mayhem, so make sure to plan your attack carefully. The combination of dastardly villains you'll face changes every round, so make sure your heroes are ready for anything. Okay. We'll see how this goes. Symbiote Stealth. Looks like these guys got some new powers. So let's see. Yeah, okay, so he's got... Yeah, so they just changed up all the characters too. So, alright, so Venom Sinister Six has Symbiote Stealth. Hides in the shadows. If there are less than 5 invisibility tiles, makes an invisibility tile. Venom cannot be stunned or sent airborne. Okay, so all these guys are getting boss rules. Leap from the shadow. It's a passive. Venom springs out of the darkness onto his prey whenever there are 5 or more invisibility titles. Venom removes them. All deals 301 damage and creates 5 2-turn countdown tiles, which create 2 web tiles each. Venom doesn't create invisibility tiles while these countdown tiles are on the board. That's a long one. And then Devour. Okay, Venom's rage is only matched by his appetite. If there are 13 or more web tiles, remove them all and down the target. Okay, that's a problem. Symbiote senses allow him to devour even enemies who are invisible. Okay, wow. That's a little bit scary right there. Okay, the only thing is 13 web tiles is a lot, so... Oh man, this could be like a hell of a fight. Not too keen on guys who are just invisible the whole time. And I hate invisibility tiles just because they make the fights last forever. 8 from the shadows. Alright, so that was kind of weak. Okay, so that's the Sinister Six Venom. Let's see what Hobgoblin does here. I assume his powers are different too. Goblin King, Trick or Treat, and Army of Henchmen. Okay, so Army of Henchmen's different. He has no allies. Heal Green Goblin for 269. Fill Green Goblin's team with 2 random minions. Whenever a minion becomes down, deal 430 damage to Green Goblin. When the Goblin is down, he takes his minions with him. Okay. Trick or Treat. Create 3 3-turn countdown tiles of a single color. Each color gives the countdown tile a different effect. Okay, that sounds the same. He can't be stunned or sent airborne. Okay. And then Goblin King. Osborne uses his maniacal genius to manipulate those around him. Reduce up to 1 random friendly countdown tile by 1. Passive, it fortifies. Okay, so that sounds the same too, except for the minion thing. So... can he be damaged, or do you have to kill his minions? Okay, so that's not too big of a deal. Alright, so Goblin looks like he's not too intimidating of a fight. Alright, so that's 2. Now we do Vulture. So let's see what he's got. So, let's see. Circling Prey. Vulture soars above his target, getting ready to strike. Create a 3-turn fortified black countdown tile that sends Vulture airborne for 2 turns. Okay. Passive. When Vulture returns from being airborne, deal 641 damage to a random enemy. Vulture cannot be stunned. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Gleaming Talons. Vulture uses razor sharp boot talons to rend his prey, deals 269 damage, and slash the board. Destroy 12 tiles, gain 1 blue AP for every enemy special tile destroyed. Okay, that's not too crazy. Hybrid Tech Slicer, 13 AP. Wow. Vulture gets a superior vantage point from the sky and lets loose with a terrifying weapon of his own design. Deals 775 damage to the enemy, or 948 damage if the Vulture's circling prey tile is on the board. Okay, that's not too crazy, so... Vulture doesn't seem too nuts either. Venom seems to be the one who's been changed up pretty big to be pretty difficult. Okay, so that's the 3 on the Vulture side. Cool, command point. Claim reward. Wow. Okay, now I'm okay on that. And we have to fight the Doc Ock. So you have to fight all 6 of these guys, huh? Alright. Here comes Sandman, Carnage, and Dr. Octopus. Alright, let's do it. Alright, we'll stick with the same guys. Okay, so first up is Sandman. Okay, same message. Let's see if they changed them. Untouchable, Sandstorm, and Pummel. So yeah, Untouchable is different. Passive. Sandman's massive form is nigh invulnerable, forcing his foes to pick their moment to strike. Reduce all damage done to Sandman from the enemy team by 25%. If the player makes a yellow match, 5, deal 435 damage to him. Okay, and then of course this is the cannot be stunned or sent airborne. Sandstorm, bodies grows and swirls on the battlefield, gaining in strength. At the start of turn, if Sandman is less than 20 yellow AP, transform 3 tiles to yellow. That is different too. I think Sandstorm was the one that shook up the board. Okay, and then Pummel. So this one is also different. The size of a building, the gigantic Sandman brings his massive fist down on his enemy, deals 673 damage to the enemy team. Actually, that sounds pretty similar. Alright, let's take them out. Was that power active? I thought it was supposed to drop everything to 25. Alright, let's see what they did to Carnage. Alright, so he's different. I can see that already. So Symbiote Fury 5. Carnage Symbiote fuels his Fury and he strikes out, dealing 377 damage and swapping up to 32 pairs of tiles. So he just swaps the whole board and does damage. Ay. Frenzy. Carnage is riled up into a frenzy. He makes an extra match at the start of his turn for every 4 black AP he has, consuming 2 black AP for every match made this way. Wow. Okay. Cannot be stunned or sent airborne. I'll have to see how this turns out. Carnage could be pretty nuts too. Erratic Destruction. Carnage lashes out wildly and unpredictably, either dealing 592 damage, deals 269 damage to the enemy team, or destroys 10 random tiles, damage, and, dealing damage and generating AP. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Alright, it looks like the developers had some fun with these guys. Alright, they're super weak at this point though, so I'm not really worried. Oh cool, he got like a little bit of intro graphics or something. Alright, so what's going on? Let's see what Doc Ock's got. So, Devious Plot. Passive. At the start of the battle, Doc Ock places a colorless nuclear reactor tile that will end the game after 20 turns. Okay, well, this tile's on the board. Doc Ock does not take damage. What? And cannot be stunned? This tile can't be matched and doesn't fall. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. At the tentacles. At the start of the battle, Doc Ock places 4 tentacle tiles on the board, each with their own effect. If there are no tentacle tiles left on the board, the reactor becomes a normally destructible green tile. Okay, so basically it looks like we need to destroy the tentacles first. Backup plan. You didn't think it would be that easy to defeat the brilliant Dr. Octopus, did you? The reactor is destroyed. Doc Ock is stunned for 5 turns, after which he places a new reactor and 4 new tentacles. Oh boy. This looks like it's going to be a hell of an event. Not a match. So how do we destroy these tiles then? While this tile's on the board, increase all damage dealt by Doc Ock by 107. Okay. Do they just go away? I'm not quite sure how to get rid of these tiles. Four tentacle tiles on the board, each with their own effect. If there are no tentacle tiles left on the board, the reactor becomes a normally destructible green tile. Yeah, but how do you get rid of them? Do they match or something? Or do we have to use 4s, or I don't know, or destroy the board? Oh, they're yellow. Or they're different colors. I see. Okay. Gotcha. Well, this is definitely challenging, so I think it's kind of hilarious. Even the first round of this match, I could possibly die. Probably not, though. Okay, cool. So basically, after all that work, you get 5 turns to kill him, so hopefully he doesn't have like a ton of HP at the end of, or in the later waves. Okay, cool. So that's the first round of Doc Ock and the Vulture. That is a lot of work. Okay, so available in 8 hours, and alright, we got some progression stuff right there. What else? Okay, so let's fight one of these matches and then see if the both nodes unlock. Let's see, it doesn't really matter. It's interesting, it's fun. I like what they've done with the Sinister Six characters. Looks like some of these fights could get really, really difficult towards the end of the event, though. So, hopefully this doesn't turn into like any kind of nightmare. I like the fact that they removed all the AP from the incoming enemies, because the last time they did a wave boss fight, it was just brutal. Like, as soon as you killed one of the 5-star bosses. Oh, okay, cool, that's nice. Alright, so it looks like there's 3 nodes for Doc Ock or Sandman, whoever, I guess, and 3 nodes for the opposite side. So that way you don't have to repeat both boss fights, which is kind of a lot. So let's run through this one more time. Let's see if they shake up the order of these guys. Well, obviously they did. I mean, Doc Ock is first, but is it still is it always going to be Doc Ock, Sandman, and Carnage? Or is there something different in store? Alright, let's try to be smart with this. So this reminds me a lot of the Caecilius fight, honestly. You're going to have to really kind of be paying attention to what you're doing to maximize your turn. And I could see needing to back out of a fight, especially against Doc Ock. It looks like his health went up too. I kind of remember him being a little bit weaker the first time we played him. I wonder if he'll just kind of keep scaling. We'll see. Maybe I was just imagining it. Actually, alright, you're gonna have to think about who you're playing, so having someone who has a shuffle would probably be pretty good against Doc Ock. Because, yeah, you're gonna want to really preserve your turns here. So, is he vulnerable? No, he's not vulnerable while the nuclear reactor tile is up, so we need to get rid of this thing. That's just a lot of work for first fight. Okay, so that's Doc Ock again. Oh, okay. So here goes Venom. So they do shake up the order. So you have no idea, like, who's going to be available or who's going to be coming up next. Wow, this could make for some really interesting wave fights here. And I think Venom's a little bit stronger too. So we'll have to see if oh, maybe my guys just advanced to the next stage of the event. I'll have to check it out. Alright, I guess maybe the best thing is to let him do his symbiote stealth. Does that mean, like, going against Venom, you're just gonna need to take a hit? Okay, so he destroys that, and that's kind of the opening. Man. I can just see how difficult this could be for some of the folks who don't have a high roster. So good luck, guys. So here's Sandman again. He was actually a pretty easy fight. Yeah, I guess I gotta read through that power again. Because it doesn't look like he's taking only 25 damage. Boom. Okay, cool. So that's through the second bunch of I guess the Doc Ock node. Alright, let's do one more on the Vulture side. Sinister Six reward at, so yeah, we're in round 2. Okay, so that's why the health went up for the bosses right there. So we'll easily kill these guys. I always like to get into these boss events early. Just do some really easy early rounds. Okay, so Sinister Six Part 2. Oh, okay, it tells you who you're fighting at the bottom. Alright, so man, I wish someone like Medusa was. Well, let's see how that'll work for right now. Let's get someone with some board shuffle going. Alright. So I think the worst thing is gonna be remembering these guys' new powers, because they changed a lot. So you'll just kind of have to be on your toes and thinking about, you know, what you need to do and what to avoid. I'm pretty sure by the later levels, or the later rounds, it'll be a lot easier, but right now, you know, since their powers are all different, it's really a little bit confusing. So what I'll do is probably try to record a fight for each round, and just see what happens to these guys' powers. Obviously, they'll probably get more covers, and their powers will probably change up a little bit, but it'll also be a good way to see, you know, how difficult these guys get as they kind of level up. Yep, looks like we're on round 3 too, so progress rewards. Alright, so here, let's do a quick one. Alright, these first rounds of fights are just super easy anyway, so we'll just blow right through them. Okay, and I think this is round 3. Doc Ock, Venom, and Sandman. Alright, so... yeah, let's do Medusa here. See how she does against Doc Ock. Okay, so no matches right out of the gates. At least he doesn't match. That's nice. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so man, oh man. Okay. This sets us up for a couple things, which is nice. Can we... oh. I was gonna use that 4 to, like, take out the, tentacle tile right there. Yeah, this Doc Ock fight is... definitely, more strategy. Alright, let's do a shuffle here. No! That would have been nice. Well, I would be, like, killing him if, any of these dreams, like, stay. Alright, cool. We got him. Yeah, that's gonna be... man, this Doc Ock fight is gonna be real long. If you have to do this multiple times... and Venom again. Nice. Oh, it looks like Venom got stronger again. Maybe we are fighting, round 3 guys. So yeah, you probably want, some kind of tank to absorb this hit. Although, the leap from the shadows really isn't that strong. So it's not so bad. Here goes Sandman again. Let's see if we can kill him in one hit. Alright, I want to read up on that power again. Untouchable. So it's a passive. Invulnerable, forcing his foes to pick their moment to strike. Reduce all damage done to salmon from the enemy team by 25%. Okay. Yeah, this will kill him. Alright, at least I didn't do anything ridiculous. Alright, and we are cruising through the first few rounds here. Did we need to... Oh, okay. I guess we... What happened here? Why is the boss fight open? Oh, because it's the round. Alright. Gotcha. Alright, we'll leave our team as is. So, okay, the order is, just random, also. I think this is the first time we fought Vulture to start with. Oh, we had to fight Sandman again? Okay, so I guess you can get, duplicates. Alright, well, he's one of the easier ones, so I'm okay with that. What do we have? Let's do this. Oh, that actually does some damage. I can see that being pretty strong later on. Okay, and then Carnage. Wow. Carnage has a lot of HP. Alright, anyways, let's just kill him. Okay, so that's a round 3 fight. For both sides. So, that's the new Sinister Six event for the bosses. And that's round 1, round 2, and round 3. So, I'm going to just keep playing. When round 4 comes around, I'll do a round of that, and then 5 and 6. How many rounds does this thing go to? So there's 8 rounds. Don't think I'll really get to that. My alliance isn't top tier, so we generally kind of peter out around round 7, but if I do find myself in round 8, I'll do one of those as well. So anyways, here's the progressions as well. There's the new Homecoming token for the 5-star Peter Parker. There's Captain Marvel's. I like her, so it's a good opportunity to get more covers of that. Some Deadpools, he's okay. And the progression rewards are usually not that great for the boss fights, but during the boss battles, they usually give a lot of command points. So it's 1, 1, 1, so far 1, okay. Well, I guess we're not giving away a lot of command points this time. We have one here. Yeah, so I guess 2 per round. That's actually not that great. I think for the other boss fights, they generally give more, like 4 or 5 command points for each boss node. Welcome back, guys. This is round 4 of the Spider-Man vs. Sinister Six boss event. So, let's see, Doc Ock, Carnage, and Sandman. Let's jump into this fight. They're all level 150. So, it looks like the levels are kind of staying low, which is nice. Although, this is only round 4. I think they go up 50 every time. We'll see. So, let's stick with our team of Surfer, Medusa, and let's see. Yeah, we'll go Old Man Logan. Let's see what he does. So, we'll go through the round 4 bosses, and we'll take a look at their powers and just see how much they've changed. Alright, so Devious Plot. Okay, so that's still 20 turns. And, that's still normal destructible green tile. Oh, okay, still 4 tentacles. And backup plan, stun for 5 turns. So Dr. Octopus looks like he's pretty consistent throughout this fight. But then again, he's kind of more of a puzzle challenge anyway, so I guess I wouldn't expect him to really change all that much. Cool, at least we're getting a whole bunch of AP. Nice. Okay, so this is a pretty nice and easy green Doc Ock fight. Alright, we should be able to, like, kill him inside of 5 turns. Alright, so the round 4 Doc Ock isn't too bad. Alright, let's take a look at round 4 Carnage. So, his damage still isn't like too much for Erratic Destruction. For Symbiote Fury, 1294, and swapping 32 pairs of tiles, so that's not really that bad either. And Frenzy, every 4 black AP. Yeah, so that doesn't look like it's changed either. So looks like Carnage is pretty much the same character. Cool, that's 2 down. Okay, we'll take a look at Sandman. So, let's see. Sandman resistant 20 AP, transform 4 tiles to yellow. Untouchable. Wow. So now he blocks 40% of damage. But he takes 1994 damage if we match a yellow 5. Right, okay. Pummel, 20 yellow. Okay, that's still pretty low. The fact that he's blocking 40% of damage is pretty big. Hopefully it doesn't get too much crazier than that, because otherwise he could be kind of a hassle. Yeah, That's a pretty cool power. It's kind of funny that they didn't actually give that power to him as the 4-star character. Would have been nicer. Alright. So that's the first 3. Got a cool command point right there. And let's see about the other side. So Vulture, Goblin, and Venom. Alright, we'll stick with our team. Alright, so, yeah, they're still pretty weak. Not even over 10,000 in HP. Vulture's got a cool cover. Circling Prey, create a 3-turn fortified black countdown tile. Can't remember if that was different. Gleaming Talons, still not too much damage. Or 2983 if the Vulture Circling Prey is on. Okay, so, nothing too crazy right there. So one thing I did notice is the points are accruing pretty fast. So it's 800,000 to get the Peter Parker token, and I think by the end of this we'll probably have like 200,000. That's usually like way more than you have in the beginning rounds of a boss fight. Alright, let's see what Green Goblin has. So getting rid of Goblin Glider actually kind of is a bad choice. Green Goblin for 1078, and fill Green Goblin's team with 2 random minions. Whenever minions down. Okay, I guess. That could be annoying later on. That looks the same. Top 1, yeah, it's more or less the same. Okay. Yeah, if his heal gets a lot, bigger. How does this work? Is it only when he throws out his 2 henchmen? Yeah, if he has no allies. Okay, so yeah, basically just don't kill the, henchmen. Alright, easy enough. And Venom, favorite fight. I'll send 5 invisibility tiles, make an invisibility tile, that sounds the same. 5 or more invisibility tiles, and remove them, does damage. Tiles, that sounds the same, and also isn't dealing a lot of damage. Alright, so just don't let him get his black. So it doesn't look like these attacks are really scaling up too crazy. We'll have to see though. They're still only level 1. Let's kill him. Yep, over 200,000. That's pretty good. Another cool command point. Okay. So that is round 4. When I get to round 5, I'll make sure to make another video, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey everybody, John L here. Thanks for sticking around. It is time to do round 5 of the Spider-Man vs. Sinister Six boss fight. So we'll start with the Doc Ock side. And we'll stick with our group so far. So let's see what the situation is. Okay, yeah, so they're 50 levels stronger, level 200. That's not too far stronger than they were before. Let's see. So Sandman is still at 40%. Definitely a bit more HP. These guys look like they're probably going to be in the 10,000-15,000 range now. And damage is still relatively low, kind of below 5,000. So let's get going. So I think at this point, a strong 3-star, 4-star team will still be pretty competitive. Having 5 stars makes it pretty easy. At 2 stars, you're probably going to be overmatched at this point. Looks like the damage is pretty manageable, though. At least so far with Sandman. There aren't any, one-hit kills yet. Alright, let's see. Venom. 13 more web tiles, it looks the same. Less than 6 invisibility tiles, it looks about the same. Leap from the shadows, 1,000, so yeah. With 50 levels, it doesn't look like there's too much different. I kind of expect the difficulty to increase maybe in round 6, round 7, because they should be around level 300 or 350. One thing I have to say, though, is the amount of points earned for each of these fights is really high for where we are in this event. They want 800,000 for the Peter Parker token. I think I mentioned that. And we're definitely beyond the halfway point. Alright, so here's the Doc Ock fight. So I have to say, having Medusa in the team is good. If you don't have Medusa, Loki would probably be someone who you'd want. Doc Ock is obviously a different fight from Sandman and pretty much any of the other characters. Since he doesn't have a turn, he doesn't take match damage until you get rid of his tentacles. So he's kind of more of a puzzle. Let's see. That. Probably not a great move. Alright, let's just shake this thing up. Alright, 11 turns. Did that go down? That'd really suck if the further along this fight gets, the less turns you actually have. I think it was 20. Yeah, 20 turns. Okay, so we've just kind of been goofing around a little bit. Doesn't look like Doc Ock really gained a lot health-wise. Alright, so we got the tentacles done. That lined up pretty nice. I actually like the mix of fights. It's nice that it's not all kind of puzzle-type fights where, you know, like Caecilius and the Doc Ock fight, some of them are just kind of standard fights like Sandman and Vulture and Green Goblin. Alright, so that's the Doc Ock half, and we'll go with the Vulture half. So, okay, we have to wait 2 minutes. So we're trying to kind of squeeze in an extra fight. If you guys don't know, whenever rounds change, you get a free opportunity to fight the boss, and whenever you have the new mission timer in the bottom right hand, you can see, and there's always the boss lock timer, and they're both 8 hours, but usually when your new missions kind of runs out, if you've kind of been on top of doing all of your rounds, the boss fight timer will be, you know, kind of close too. So you can generally wait like another, I don't know, however many minutes it took you to get through, and you'll get another opportunity to fight the bosses. That's kind of an easy way to rack up points, so that way you're not stuck fighting you know, a whole bunch of fights in the later rounds where the bosses are more difficult and the lead-up fights are more difficult. So anyways, let's do the Vulture fights. And so far, I mean, I wouldn't really recommend this team. It's not really spectacular. I usually like to have someone like Medusa or Iron Fist, or someone who throws down some kind of attack tiles just to kind of move the fight along. She's also good, especially for the Doc Ock fight, but there hasn't really been anyone that is kind of like special or required, or that would really kind of help out based on the assortment of bosses so far. The fights are pretty standard, and it looks like you'll be fine just kind of playing through with your, you know, strongest team, kind of as long as you just have someone who can shuffle the board whenever you're doing the Doc Ock fight, just in case the, you know, one of the tentacles is kind of in a corner, or you just kind of get some kind of bad board situation where you're just not able to come up with any kind of legitimate match in the 20 turn time span. Also, I apologize for the maybe less than stellar commentary right now. It's actually pretty early in the morning. I usually try to get onto the boss fights right when they open, so that I can kind of get in as many rounds as possible before it gets really late. But that does mean I usually end up playing around somewhere around 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, so it looks like Carnage isn't really doing a whole lot of damage also. Well, actually, I don't know. These guys don't have covers because it looks like they all have mocked up powers. Yeah, the damage is really low. You know, I would say even with a strong team of twos, you could probably get through. I mean, they have like high HP, but they're not really doing a whole lot of damage. Okay, so Goblin, he's pretty standard. I actually think Goblin Glider would have been a better power than having his weird henchman power here. Feels like they're trying to do some kind of Civil War type thing, like how they had House Party Protocol and whatever Captain America 5 stars power was that calls a whole bunch of people. Alright, so again with Green Goblin I would just kind of keep going at him. Doesn't really look like there's any need to spend any time focusing on the henchman he has. Alright, so if I was to make a guess, I'd say Vulture is also unspectacularly higher in power and levels. Yeah, so there's not really any damage. I don't know, maybe we'll see something that kind of threatens in the next round or two. Right now, I'd have to say that this boss fight is actually really easy and really accommodating too. And I'm not talking because, you know, the strength of my roster. I would say, yeah, again, if you had like a pretty strong 3-star roster, 4-star roster, shouldn't really have any problems. And let's see. I would guess that after this fight, we'll be pretty far along in getting yep, so we're about 500,000, which is, I don't know, maybe like 60% of the way through, and we're only on round 5 and just starting, so this thing's going really fast. I think a lot of people have like a pretty good chance of getting the Peter Parker token, which is cool, so good luck to anybody out there in getting your 5-star Peter. And that was round 5, still pretty easy, lead-up fights, boss fights, everything. So I will continue playing through, and I will record for round 6, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey everybody, John L. here, thanks for sticking around. So in an odd turn of events, my alliance actually blew through round 6. So I don't actually have a fight between the Sinister Six and myself for round 6, but we'll have round 7, so let's get started on that right now. So the characters are now at level 300, so this should definitely be a bit more difficult. So let's start with our usual group and see how we do. Okay, so yeah, it looks like they're in the 20,000 range in like health. Let's see, so now the invisibility tile is at 6. Is that new or? Well, the damage still looks pretty low for Leap from the Shadows. And his block is the same. He's just gonna win the fight if... What is it? There's 12 or more web tiles, so... It doesn't look too much more insane for Venom. I think what I'd like to do is just get red, so that I can get rid of him really quick, because I think that's kind of like the deal with Venom. If, you don't really have to worry about his attack or anything else, just getting those web tiles out. So this is definitely a fight where you don't want to have someone like Miles Morales or Spider-Man or something like that. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do a shuffle now. Let's wait till he reappears. Yeah, I think I would definitely die if I didn't have a one-hit kill from like this round. Okay. So here goes Doc Ock. I can imagine things haven't really changed too much. Yeah, still 20 turns. Still 4 tentacles. And then backup plan's the same, so let's see. That works out. So I think with Doc Ock, maybe the dangerous thing will be like you have to do the whole thing twice of getting rid of the tentacles and the nuclear reactor and stuff like that, so that could be more dangerous. Alright, let's shuffle it. See, this is the dangerous thing when there's something in the corner. Just because it's really hard to get, like, matches when... especially there's nothing, like, that you need in the corner. Or close to the corner. Oh. So yeah, Silver Singularity is actually pretty good because... let's move that out of the way. It actually will destroy the tentacle, so... Alright. No way. Okay. Cool. So let's just get rid of them. Okay, and here's Vulture. Let's see how different he is. At least these guys don't have a ton of match damage. Okay, so his Airborne deals 5,807, so he's definitely a little bit stronger. Razor Talons is 4,000. And Hybrid Tech Slicer, yeah, so he's definitely starting to look a little bit intimidating. Alright, so that is the Doc Ock half of the battle. And we got our Peter Parker token. There we go. Okay, let's move on to the Sandman half. We'll stick with the same team. Alright, so here's Goblin. Definitely more life, starting to look like his 5-star self. So he gets a big health boost. And downing a minion does pretty good amount of damage, that's cool. And the other stuff looks pretty much the same. Yeah, it looks like a pretty normal goblin fight except for that new power. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So I think if Amagia Muscle comes up, then I might want to take it out at this point, just because with how much HP he has, I think those guys can kind of get going. Like, I don't mind these, you know, pistols and all that kind of stuff, because it's not too much damage, not too big of a deal. But if there's a Magia Muscle, or a Magia Sniper, or something like that, if they actually do legit damage, let's see how much these guys do, like 1925, that's not even a lot, and they're like level 150, so yeah, that's not too big of a deal. Like I can absorb that much damage. Be nice if he died, though. There we go. There's goblins, so here's Carnage. Let's see what Carnage does now. Okay, so Symbiote Fury kind of does a respectable amount of damage with 4,064, and then shuffles all the tiles on the board. This could kind of get ugly. Frenzy, same, and erratic damage. Still kind of low, but definitely a little bit more than the previous rounds. So if you have people who can heal, that's also probably a good thing, or just a good amount of projectiles. Because I think with such a low cost for his red, and how much HP he has now, you're probably going to take at least a hit or two. Unless you take him out fast. Or he doesn't match any reds. There we go. Alright, so here's Sandman. See what he looks like. Okay, so his untouchable now is up to 50% damage. So this is probably going to be a long fight. Especially since he has more HP. You live 5-star match, 5,609 damage to him. Okay, that'd be cool. Swirls, some 20 AP, 5 to yellow, that's the same. And Pummel is 5,000, so that's kind of a decent amount of damage too. So, yeah, I guess I'd try to keep him away from yellow. Still, so far for round 7, this really isn't that difficult, though. I would think with a strong team of 3s, you could probably get through this. It'd probably take a while and not be like the most fun thing ever, but these guys don't seem to really be doing like the highest amount of damage. Okay, so we got enough red to take him out. Maybe. Nope, see? And there we go. Yeah, so I think 5-star characters, if you have them and have them strong, help, just because you do so much more in match damage, which is making these fights pretty easy. If not, I would probably, try to use teams with, who throw out attack tiles or strike tiles to kind of boost your damage to speed the thing along. Alright, so we just finished round 7, and since we picked up the Peter Parker token, let's see if we got the new 5-star Spider-Man. So anyways, we have a 10% chance in doing this. So, fingers crossed. Nope. Alright, well, we got a Sandman, that's cool. Anyways, yep, on to round 8. Everybody, well, this is it. Round 8 of the Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six boss event. This is as difficult as the, enemies will get. Just want to make sure. Yeah. There is no round 9. So let's go ahead and try both of the boss nodes and just see what we're up against. So it looks like the bosses only end up getting up to level 325, which is a little bit low. Maybe they're just kind of being easy on us since this is a wave fight, but bosses usually go up to 450. So, Carnage, Doc Ock, and Venom. Alright, so in round 7 I decided to start using Iron Man Hulkbuster because the bosses are actually kind of getting a little bit tough, and having someone who can deliver kind of a more punishing blow ends up kind of being a good idea. We'll keep Medusa so we can have someone to shuffle the board. Alright, so let's take a look at Carnage and see what he does now. So, Symbiote Fury does close to 5,000 damage. That's still not that bad. Frenzy's the same. Erratic Destruction. The 2,329 to enemy team is not bad. I think a lot of this is just based on the fact that his attacks only take 5 AP to pull off. So as long as we can kind of limit him, he's not really that bad. Luckily, there's not a lot of green. Alright, let's see if he can match a black for us. Like that one. Oh no. Alright, let's just knock him out with Cosmic Beam. So I have noticed that at these later rounds, I do have to focus. It was pretty easy to kind of walk through the first few rounds. Let's see, anything we can get? Not really. Well, actually, that won't work. So one thing I've noticed is the tentacle tiles can be destroyed. So if you have someone like, I use Surfer's Black, but any power that destroys tiles, like maybe Hex Bolt for Scarlet Witch, or Blammo, whatever the Rocket and Groot power, those might come in handy. I think for Doc Ock, what you really want to do is just make sure that you have people who can manipulate the board and destroy tiles, so you can get all this stuff done with, so he doesn't just end up by default winning the fight. So I noticed also, you can't do much with the reactor tile, but that can actually be destroyed also. And when that gets destroyed, the tentacle tiles go away. So I'm not sure if that's like some kind of glitch or something, but that actually happened with Surfer's Silver Singularity. So if you don't mind the pressure of having a countdown tile right here, this is actually not a bad fight to kind of rack up some AP for. Or for the next fight, that is. If that makes any sense. Alright. So we have our nuclear reactor tile out there, and of course it's right on the corner. We'll see if we can get some more purple. So we can do another hair metal here. Stay. Okay, cool. See, hair metal really does work. Alright, and we'll just pound them. So let's use these 5 turns to get some more AP. Yeah. Okay, and we're in good shape. So Venom actually is kind of tricky in these later levels. Those web tiles really end up becoming kind of a concern. So I'm probably going to end up using Overdrive. To get enough red to just knock him out. So what is he doing? Is he throwing out 3? If they're less than 6 invisibility tiles, make 2 invisibility tiles. Didn't he just do 3? That's 3 right there. Leap from the shadows. Removes all of them, deals 2,100 damage, and then creates the 5 2-turn countdown tiles that make web tiles. Okay, so the last 2 powers are the same, and the damage is really minor. Yeah, what you want to make sure is just at least to get rid of some of the web countdown tiles. And then the web tiles, if you don't have a character that's strong enough to really knock him out. But I'm not gonna do that. How much do we have? Should be good. So I'd say for a round 8 fight, that's actually pretty easy. Even though you have to fight 3 characters, it's really not that bad. So we have Vulture, Goblin, and Sandman. So Goblin kind of gets annoying too. And same thing with Sandman. Sandman, his stomp or whatever really starts becoming an issue. Alright, we'll go with our winning team. Alright, so usually Vulture is like the 2nd or 3rd guy that I fight, so by that time I'm usually pretty upped on AP and able to take him out with a couple attacks. So let's see what he does now. Okay, so Circling Prey, create the turn countdown tile that sends Vulture airborne, and then he hits you for 7,000. Gleaming Talons does 8,600, destroying 16 tiles, gains 1 blue for every special tile destroyed. And then Hybrid Tech Slicer. So now he's getting kind of scary. So those are some pretty decent attack numbers. 6,708 damage to the enemy, or 8,198 if the Vulture Circling Prey tile is on the board. Alright, let's not let him do that. Yeah, there's a lot of green and blue. I'm not really liking this. Okay. Let's take away some green. Wow, he's like right there. Like one more green or blue match and he's off and running. Alright, so I'm not gonna let that happen. Alright, so here's Goblin. Definitely got more HP. So Goblin King. Yeah, let's see, reduce up to 2 random countdown tiles by 1. Fortify 2 random, Trick or Treat. Yeah, and then his army of henchmen, so nothing too spectacular. The henchman thing will be kind of annoying though. So we'll go after him until we see someone throw. use this flamethrower, just because I don't want the whole team to get damage. I don't mind if Silver Surfer takes damage, that's kind of what he's there for. But I don't want Medusa or Hulkbuster taking damage. And there's a flamethrower, of course. So, I think we're okay though. So sometimes he throws out the, what is it? Trick or Treat. It ends up being the projectiles. That is kind of problematic, so I just kind of watch for that. I generally don't worry too much about the other stuff, though. Alright, let's heal up a little bit and kill this guy. 18. Or 81. Dyslexia is fun. Okay, and Sandman. So Sandman starts going crazy. So he does Sandstorm, and he starts really racking up the yellow. So he transforms 5 tiles if Sandman has less than 20. And if he does get, well, 18, then he hits you Pummel. So Pummel's the thing that sucks. And he's going to make a lot of yellows. Let's see, Untouchable, 50%, unless we hit him with a yellow match. Still haven't been able to do that yet. So let's see. Usually I kind of go toe-to-toe with him until it starts getting a little bit out of hand. I don't know. Someone who could suck out some AP might be good, so Wasp or Loki. Just to keep that yellow down, because he really does start accruing it pretty fast. And it's like almost certain that he's going to use Pummel. How much do we have? We have 9. Alright. I already took out my red. Okay, so if I get another 9, that'll be 18. I don't think that's enough just yet. Yeah, he can really rack it up. Alright, let's see if we can kill him. Oh no, that's right, he has a 50% thing. Yeah, so we're gonna get hit with Pummel. Yeah, so again, Sandman, people who can heal are pretty awesome also. And he gets a 5, and he gets a 4, so he already got 9 yellow off of that one turn. That sucks. Alright, let's see if we can kill him. Yes, he's down. Alright, so Sandman is kind of a little bit of a problem later on, but still not so bad. So anyways, that's the 8 rounds of Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six. I think as a boss fight, it's actually not so bad. It kind of takes a little bit longer just because instead of one boss fight, you have to take out 6, so time-wise, it's a little bit longer than the other boss fights, but difficulty-wise, I think it's actually pretty easy. Usually I struggle a little bit more even though I have a pretty decently strong roster. But this one, from rounds like 1 through 8, it really wasn't much of a challenge. I like the fact that for the progression rewards, they made it so that the homecoming token was really easily accessible. I think more people in my alliance got it, which was nice. I still don't think my alliance really has a shot at the, alliance reward homecoming token. We're kind of mid-range, but I think this event was kind of just maybe better off for more people, which is nice, because sometimes with the boss fights, they, you have to be pretty strong, like, roster-wise, just to even get the progression, like, 5-star token. So anyways, I thought it was fun. I wouldn't mind playing it again later on. I do like the boss fights. Hopefully they come up with more. What do you guys think? Difficulty-wise, length, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, take care, and thanks for watching, guys.